Confession, I love Seguin. This is one of my favorite places in South Texas to visit for two reasons. One, it's just beautiful. I love historic homes, and when you're driving into town, you realize that Seguin is pretty spread out, but there are a number of historic homes here, beautiful Victorian homes that have been well preserved. So you just get that sense that this is an area that very much values its place in history. And number two, the people. You're about to meet them. We're here at Pecan Town Books and Brews in downtown Seguin, a really nice place. It's sort of a bookstore and also a cafe, and I'm really excited for you to come in and meet the people of Seguin. If you could describe Seguin, how would you describe it?
It's very pleasant. It's welcoming, it's friendly, it feels very community and family oriented.
We like the pace of life here. People are friendly, still get to wave at your neighbors, and it's good. We enjoy it.
The people here are friendly. I mean, I worked in New Braunfels for 20 years, but then when I moved back here, you don't realize, everybody you've missed seeing, and the same people pretty much live here, raised here, stay here, but to me the people are friendly and they help each other out, as far as, the people that I know, and they try to do good for Seguin. And I'm the type of person, if I see something happening and in my neighborhood, I'm gonna not let it happen.
You worry about the future. When you think about a lot of the issues affecting people, what are the things that you worry about?
To me, I've always believed that women should have, the right to choose for themselves, Like, if you want to work, you work. And like my mom, she raised 9 children. Wow. And, she never worked. So, it's like, why didn't you ever do it? She goes, well, because the kids, you do it for your family, and it's that she probably couldn't. Well, she really couldn't, because what are you going to do with 9 children?
Right.
So a lot of that is family, with your children. And then if you want to go from there, after my youngest brother went to school, then she worked. She got a little part-time job and had for herself. Global warming and all this stuff, you have to think about stuff like that, because we have kids. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter and an 8-year-old grandson, so I try to think about what is going to happen to them. We've lived through a lot, so, I just think about them.
Are you going to vote?
Yes.
This November?
Yes.
Do you know who you're going to vote for?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Are you comfortable telling me who you think you're going to vote for?
Well, I'm going to vote Democrat, so.
Okay.
Yes.
I was talking to your friend today, and she was just saying.
And that's my friend.
Yeah, and she just said, it was considered impolite to bring up politics, religion, and all that stuff, because it's going to end up in an argument.
And she's a Democrat.
And you're
I'm a Republican. But between me and her, we love each other and we care for each other, but we don't go there because our friendship is more important.
What are the issues that you're worried about?
Well, there's several things that are going on, of course, but one of the main one is the open border. I don't see the rhyme and reason for that. I'm not against immigration, but we need to know who's coming across. They don't know. And they have no answer to that. What is the reason for them coming over? Why do you want so many people? That person that I'm going to vote for president for 2024, will be Trump. I voted for Trump last year, and the year before, or the 2016, and we will vote for him again.
In regards to politics, I feel like, I was raised as more Democrat-leaning, moved to Texas, enjoy the personal freedoms that we have here. And so that's about the extent of my interest, is maintaining those personal freedoms, no matter what values those line up to. I think people should be allowed to make their own choices and live their lives.
Sounds more libertarian.
It is. For me, being in Texas, we're more impacted by border security. So that is actually one that has a real life impact for us from both a hiring standpoint, sourcing our labor, insurance, things of that nature. So,
could you explain that though? The border security and how it affects? Yeah, it's different from somebody who doesn't live in a border town.
Correct. So there's a massive influx of people, and so in our business we have to have certain qualifications to even be on these sites for the different cell phone carriers. And so the crews that we use, we have certain requirements that we have to meet, and so with the flood of people that may be documented or not, it provides hiring challenges for that, because you'll have people that are willing to work for much less that we're not able to actually should not be using, versus the people that we should use and are paying taxes. And so it impacts our ability to hire and source employees that way. I'm actually voting for Kennedy on this one. I like his character, his track record of cleaning up, in the Hudson, the work he did there environmentally. I'm an avid outdoorsman, and so taking care of our environment is wildly important to me as well. So I like what he stands for in those regards. Some of the issues I don't agree with him on, but I do think Trump tends to be more divisive, and I think the Democrats are a little lost right now. So I'm a registered Democrat. That's where I was born and raised. But I feel like that party's a little lost. I feel like both parties are a little lost right now.
I'm going to vote for former President Donald Trump. I think as a parent, as a mother, as a small business owner, safety is important. Community safety, schools, school curriculum, pricing, affordability for groceries, for travel, for things like that, and all the things that pertain to running a household, all of those issues are things that are near and dear. I mean, we want food to be affordable, we want the food to be good quality, we want to have access to nutritious food in our communities. I think it's important that we source things locally where we can, having a strong economy, I think here is important. If there are things that we can source within our nation, within our communities, then that's better than us bringing things in from afar, paying more for lesser quality. Why would we do that? It's so important that we're able to have conversations because at the end of the day, we're all people. And it's okay that we disagree with things. That doesn't mean that we can't get along, that we can't work together, that we can't contribute to something wonderful together. And I think one of the biggest tragedies is when people have different ideas and believe that just because of that we can't work together, or we have to divide. But I mean, there's so much opportunity for unity, there's so much opportunity for collaboration, and using each other's differences and each other's strengths to work towards something greater. And I wish that everybody was willing to do that.
It's so easy to hide behind your keyboard and to say things that you probably wouldn't say to someone's face. So having in-person conversations here with people who not necessarily agree with you politically, it's much nicer and easier to talk to someone when they're not espousing their ideas and there's no quick oh, I see that hurt your feelings. Because I think when you're not looking directly at someone and so you say what you think and what you think comes across hurtful, and when you hurt someone and you see it, you're like, wait, I think that came out wrong. But when you're on your computer or your phone, you often don't recognize that. And so it's nice to be able to do that with each other here. For me, personally, healthcare is a big deal for me. I got sick in 2020, and I had to have 3 surgeries almost within a year. It was a year and about 18 months, and it devastated us financially. We have great health insurance, and it still became such a huge burden on our family. And so healthcare personally is a huge political thing that I will be voting for. And then also just the conversation of what is okay for the government to have a say in versus what a government doesn't have the say in. And I think that when it comes to a lot of separations of where the government belongs versus where my choices as a parent, whether it be education or healthcare or whatever, those are big issues for me personally this election season.
Do you already know who you're going to vote for?
Yes, I do.
Okay, are you comfortable telling us who?
Yeah, and you know what? It's an interesting thing because I was born and raised evangelical. I grew up going to different Republican events and learning more, and I voted for Trump in 2016, and I did not vote for him in 2020 because I did not agree with what happened. And so this next election, I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris. And I would never have told you I would have voted for a Democrat even 4 years ago.
So that was interesting. We heard from people from different sides of the spectrum, which is kind of what I expected here in Seguin. In 2020, the population here was 29,000. Last year, the population was 36,000. So you've had a lot of people move to this area. That could explain all of the diverse political opinions that we're hearing from people in town. But it just gives me hope, again, that everybody wants to have civil discourse when it comes to politics. Now, if you don't mind, I am going to come here and order a grilled cheese sandwich. Apparently they put peaches in it, and I'm hearing that it is to die for. So I'll see you soon.